Mazi. Asante sana. Thank you for joining us for another classic episode of the Weekend Edition. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. We have a great show lined up for you. A very interesting combination of guests and lots of interesting stuff to talk about. One of our guests joined campus to study biochemistry. He switched and graduated as an engineer. He's now a radio presenter and one of the biggest names in the comedy industry. MCA Tricky is in the house. Asante sana. Our second guest is a prolific thespian, joined university to study law, but switched to theater and film. A seasoned lecturer, actress, and film producer whom I will not spend the whole first part of the show counting the number of degrees in her name. Zippy Okoth is in the house. Asante sana. We'll be vibing with them in a bit. Lakini kwanza mpwempwe za vile hii wiki imekuwa moto kama kawaida. This week actually started with the news that an angel had been spotted in Murang'a. Now, let me tell you why this story is interesting. Just last month, Murang'a was in the news after a study revealed that the county was leading in extramarital affairs. In short, kupata malaika Murang'a ilikuwa hard last month. 1 month later, kuna mmoja ameonekana. Turns out, hizi zilikuwa tu propaganda za social media. Like, hakuna malaika alikuwa ameonekana. In fact, this pic was not even taken in Kenya. And one of these fine days, this obsession people have with the end times, itakuja kuingiza wase kwa noma. Mtu atatokea hivi ati yeye ni malaika, and maybe itakuwa so convincing, mpaka watu waanze kutubu, alafu mpate ni Eric Omondi. Mazi. Yes, come on guys. God is not a Kenyan politician to go dropping flying objects carelessly huko mashinani.
The latest conversation is around the use of private choppers to fly to different functions with no clear accountability on whether public funds are used to facilitate lavish travel.
Now, isn't it interesting that the only people Kenyans can see landing from the skies are not angels? Now, Murang'a was just chilling, but that's not to mean hata kama hiyo story ya malaika ni ya uongo ati the county was all innocent. Maze, this week, a man was killed in Murang'a over a 10-bob Mutura debt. Serious, msee aliua msee juu ya deni ya Mutura ya 10-bob. Like, mimi nilikuwa najua Mutura inaweza kukuua, lakini sio hivi. No. Now, the story is very sad, and I hope the young man gets justice. And now, elsewhere, Yesu wa Tongaren has officially responded to the plans to crucify him next month. And first, to be clear, he has no plans whatsoever to join his father in heaven like last time. And I understand him. Once crucified? Exactly. Yesu wa Tongaren ameonea wa Kenya 18.
Unaona wenye wanaongea mambo ya kusulupisha. Sasa leo mzali niambia hivi. Wanaenda kutokezewa tu maono wakilala. Wakati wanaongea watakuwa wanaona wanamkonga Yesu misumari kwa maono. Sasa mtu anaamka anaanza kushangaa.
I think Kenyans took Mr. Wekesa Jesus Simiyu too seriously when he was only interested in being the Lord part-time. Lakini hata Wakenya wanafaa waache hizo stories za hizo jokes za kucrucify Yesu wa Tongaren. Just stop it. Kwanza madem, msikubali hiyo story. Just think about it. How does this even sound? Say like 2 Sundays after Easter, an ordinary conversation ya madem wametoka church. Tell me if this sounds right. I still can't believe Yesu wa Tongaren amenikufia. But then again, I think with proper government support, Yesu wa Tongaren can take his game to a whole new level. Think about it. Same energy yenye ilitumika kufunga China Square. Why can't we apply the same in this? Like, why do we need a foreign Jesus when we can support our own? Exactly. At least this will come with accountability. The first lady can call directly and immediately after fasting. Wekesa, umepata maombi ya mvua? Na mbona hujatenda? Nimeombea pia cartels na KRA na KEBS. Hiyo maneno pia uangalia matuchague Yesu mwingine. Accountability maze. And that's actually true. Msana zafikira tuna make jokes. Our first lady actually prayed for cartels.
Let us shut these cartels in the name of Jesus. Let us pray for the Kenya Ports Authority specifically, because that is the point of entry. Father, we thank you. Rabokoze tererere bokazanto robokoze rarara bokozente bakakanto robokoze tererere.
By the way, Bona, why don't we believe in God in the fight against corruption? Mbona hatuwezi sikia so and so has been named again in corruption, mnaenda mwambia ushindwe katika jina la Yesu. Now, this is a good initiative, but people do not give it the seriousness it deserves. We have a faith problem in this country. Hata Matiang'i angeitwa tu ambaye tunakukemea katika jina la Baba. But hiyo haiwezi wako. Baba ndiye alikuwa anamtetea. Kwanza hey! Kwanza hiyo story nyingine. By the way, while honoring his summon to the DCI, former Interior CS Fred Matiang'i was first barred from accessing the premises because he had not registered the people accompanying him. But that was just the beginning. After they were allowed in, walikubaliwa after. Azimio leader Raila Odinga came in afterwards and he was denied access. Basically, the easiest way to access the DCI headquarters this week was through recruitment. Baba had to be turned back and he did not take it lightly.
I'm not allowed to see the director. What kind of consultations? Look, this is a public office and I have a right to go inside. What law is that?
Jacob, let's go back to the car. We'll have to talk to the people about this.
But hapa yenyewe by the way wasi DCI hawangefanya hivyo. My opinion. They assume too much and I think the DCI hafai kuassume. Si ndio? Labda Baba alikuwa anapita. What gives them the confirmation that Baba alikuwa anaenda huko juu ya Matiang'i? Si labda Baba alikuwa anapita Kiamburu na kaona crowd. Now, immediately after they saw Baba complaining that this was a public office and he was allowed to access it anytime, haters immediately pointed out how in the past 5 elections, some Kenyans have made sure that Baba cannot access a popular public office. In the end, CS Matiang'i had his day. He was released. And looking at the charge sheet, the place where he was supposed to write a statement, that's where he drew the line. In other news, a Kenyan cyclist by the name James Mwaura has championed a very noble cause by running from Kisumu to Mombasa for charity. This is a very big accomplishment. Wapi makofi yake mzee. Thank you. Running from one county to another is almost impossible. The first 2 governors in Nairobi tried and did not succeed. Kidero tried to run from Nairobi to Homa Bay. Sonko tried to run from Nairobi to Mombasa. Hawakutoboa. Mwaura ran from Kisumu to Mombasa in 13 days to raise funds for children born with heart problems. It's a very noble cause and we wish him all the best. And from Kisumu to Mombasa on foot, mazi. That's the true definition ya kujisimamia transport. Yes. And with the harsh economic times, this may just give some Kenyans ideas. Hello babe, nimekuja yako hapa stage ya Kisumu nikapata fare ni 5,000. Sidhani nitaweza kufika kesho kwa minajili ya nauli kupanda. Lakini nimeshatoka, unaweza nichukua mtito one day Thursday. Mnajua kienyeji hawakulangi fare. We have a great show lined up for you. MCA Tricky and Zippy Okoth are joining us on the other end of this short commercial break. See you in a bit. Asante sana, welcome back to the weekend edition. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. Conversation interesting sana. As I promised, our guests for this episode are Dr. Zippy Okoth. She's a lecturer, she's an actress, she sings, she does everything. She's a film producer. Yani, nilishaambia the first part of the show will not spend the whole first part introducing her na vitu amesomea. Zippy Okoth is in the house. Sawa basi, alafu one of the finest comedians in the country, mnamjua, he's also a radio presenter, a man who needs no introduction pia. MCA Tricky is in the house. Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Karibuni sana. Last time tulikuwa na Madam Zippy, the first, not the last time. The first time alikuwa anatu lecture on film and theater production in one of the best initiatives, I don't know where zilienda. Again, like mi nikiflosia wase about kusoma film and theater, mi floss kama mse amesomea KU. Because then yes, ulikuwa una lecture at KU then, si ndio? But your story is also interesting. You guys mna approach very different on this episode because number one, you did not join campus to study for theater related activities at first. Please tell us about that.
Yeah, I think I really wanted to study theater, but first of all, that time it was not very popular. In fact, I think we are among the second graduates of theater arts in this country. So when I was joining campus, after arguing with my parents, my mother wanted me to do education, my father wanted me to be a lawyer. But then we all agreed that I'm going to Maseno now to do communication and media studies because at least wameona TV kuna kitu, not this theater drama thing. It was a thing, yeah. So I went and then I was told we can change courses in campus. As long as you're registered. Hi, didn't I change? Didn't I keep quiet about it until idea? That's when my mother knew.
Okay.
Yeah.
So interesting. After an argument with your parents, you decided to switch courses, went to Fanya Theatre.
Yeah.
So before going to study acting, you were acting up.
Yes.
MCA Tricky, legendary. Most people don't know you. Like, watu wameshindangwa kuconnect idea ya chokora na engineer. Right? Most people don't know that you recently actually graduated. Now that was not what you joined campus for in the first place.
Yes.
What happened?
Nikijoin campus, walininyima my dream course.
Yes.
Wakanipea ingine.
Yes.
But later on nikaingia my dream course. Nikijoin, of course, you are placed. Si wewe unaendanga kujiweka.
Yes.
Think daktari anakubaliana na mimi hapo. You are placed.
You are placed.
Unachukuliwa, unaplaceiwa.
Yes.
So sometimes, most of the times, some students wanna place yangu to some courses that they don't even have an idea ni za nini.
Yes,
so mimi nikijoin Kenyatta University, I niliplaceiwa in the School of Health Sciences.
Health Sciences.
Yes, nilikuwa kwa school Department of Biochemistry. Ni vitu zingine hapo noma. Kuna vitu zinaitwa nonsense codon hapo. Na genetics ziko hapo mingi. It's a very tough course, but that was not my passion.
Yes.
So later on, I studied biochemistry for 1 full year at KU.
Yes.
Before I switched to my dream, mechanical engineering. Na haikuwa rahisi. Think daktari hapa atakubaliana na mimi. Walking into these departments, in and out, trying to fill the forms that could change course from one course to the other, intra-faculty transfers, it's not easy. Yeah.
Very true. And please don't feel intimidated at home. Mechanical engineering, mechanic amefanya units.
Mechanical engineering, in fact, mechanic si mechanical engineer. Mechanic ni mechanic.
Basi ni ulikuwa unaniflosi hapa ati gari yako ikiharibika unajua ni nini unafaa kushika.
Wapi?
So before that tuingie kwa story ya academics.
Yes.
Sijui Dr. Zippy, do you know the kind of suffering that people go through in campus? Like when you go to teach, do you as a teacher experience, ama as a lecturer, do you experience the atmosphere ya njaa yenye kwa wanafunzi in terms of survival? Ama your relationship with students, you came here for this and that's that.
Wacha niseme, I think nowadays almost 10% of my salary goes into my actual students.
Oh.
Yeah, because utaona mwenyewe.
You tithe where you work.
You tithe where you work. Because one, there are students who are actually feeling hungry. You can see they're hungry. Then there are those ones that are very good students, and you can tell that this student is going to miss the whole semester because they can't afford fees.
Yes.
So instead of saying you're helping people on social media, I mean, just help pay for this student. And then the good thing, if they're within your institution, you're not giving them the money. You're paying with their admission number direct, and you're sure he is not going to eat. So
Shule directly.
Yeah, so teaching is a calling. It's not you are the next parent of these kids.
So wewe as a lecturer, when you go on strike, you just strike for what you donate.
na feel vibaya nilimiss donation zake.
Haukuwa time yake.
Nilikuwa. She was there.
Oh, she was there.
She was not in my class.
But
I
was
didn't
not
interact with them.
Department yake ilikuwa kando, but kuna wakati nilibra shoulders na department yako. Nilipoanza.
Kwa class yangu mara 3 hivi ningeona uko na njaa.
But sir, how do you tell Jusai akopoa but bado anakaa ni kama ako na njaa? How do you tell mtu ako na njaa by just looking at them? How do you diagnose that?
You can tell. Umejua sio venye anakaa. Unaona venye ukiangalia raha even ndani ya macho ya mtu, not in the way the skin is.
Yes.
If you look at somebody's eyes, it can tell a lot. Like I can tell whether you're a drug addict or whether you're just hungry.
Really?
Yeah.
You can look at someone like this useme huyu ameonja kitu,
huyu hajaonja kitu.
Yeah, I did when I was doing my masters, it was on use of dramatherapy among drug addicts. And I did it at Mathari Drug Rehabilitation Center. And so even in class, I am able to identify students who are taking, you know, all those other stuff. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yes, and I approach them and I tell them, stop taking whatever you're taking. And you know, they'll come, Madam, where did you see me? I say, if you want to talk, if you want to help, there's help. But you have to stop it or else don't come to my class. But they are very strict on that.
And you know them by, you are specific, like, unajua hii ni bangi, hii ni cocaine, like. You just know you are using something.
No, I may not say the hini bangi ni cocaine, but I can tell whether hini beer too, this is spirits, or now this is bangi and cocaine.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can tell cheap alcohol by just...
Yeah. Almost all students take cheap alcohol.
Wow. Sawa. Umesheka ni kama umegunduliwa.
Sawa.
Cheki.
Karibu anipate.
Karibu akupate. Sasa wewe,
yes.
Are there things, umesikia Dr. Zippy akiwa mwalimu, kuna vitu anaweza jua, kuna vitu ziu happen zenye mwalimu hana idea?
Kuna vitu mob ziko behind the scenes zenye mwalimu hana idea. Time nyingine naweza kuja daro na nimeshiba sana. Sababu unajua huko campus ukipata do unakulanga mara moja. Hakuna kubakisha.
Kukula ni one off.
So naweza kam daro na lala, so moja nadhani niko mlevi. Kumbe nimeshiba mpaka ya kesho. Sometimes nawachezea hiyo reverse psychology pia.
Okay.
So but I agree with her that sometimes they can see na waone noma ya comrades. But ile kubwa, hiyo ni the tip of the iceberg. Ile kubwa sasa iko kule kwa hostels ndani. Yeah.
Na wewe pia ulikuwa shule time ya YY, because YY unajua kuna time alikuwa kwa shule mpaka akituambia mpaka karibu akuwe mwizi wa kisu kampo. Alafu akasema he quit because vile aliingiza kisu hapa kwa mgongo akasikia hiyo kisu ni baridi. Akawachana nayo.
Story ya YY funny enough, hakuna mtu ameshawahi jua hii story. I don't know kama YY shaisema. I slept, sorry, nikisema hivyo naelekea vibaya. Before all this fame and everything, yes. Churchill Show, kila kitu, YY akiwa Oliver Otieno.
Yes.
Tulikuwa tunaishi kwa cubicle moja Kenyatta University. Some hostel called Old Men.
Hapo ndio kuna the lucky
Old Men Engai.
Yes.
Hapo ndo tulipatana na YY. Akiwa Oliver, nikiwa Frank. That's where we started even this kind of acting, kutafuta jokes hapa na pale, even before YY joined Churchill Show.
Yes.
Na tuliteseka na yeye. Nikianza kuconfess hapa, daktari ataandika barua ya blue. To survive campus unahitaji ujanja. You can't survive there ukingoja utumiwe so mbili na mzazi.
MCA Tricky mentioned something about the choices that you're given.
Yeah.
Choices that are made for you before you even join the school.
Yes.
They don't consider what you could be good at doing when you join the institution. What is your take on career choices for students and how it affects them in the job market?
There are two things. Some students are never vocal. Some students don't even know what they want. Let's be realistic about that. When you are told to fill those forms for university education, when you are in, nowadays I hear they do it in Form 3. Some students have totally no clue about what they want to do. So they just know, I want to do engineering. They don't know which type of engineering. So they just type, they just feel anything, you know. They don't know even how to look at their cluster. Because by Form 3, you should be able to know the kind of average marks you're getting, which subjects you're good in. If you're not good in sciences, don't feel engineering. If you're not good in languages, don't feel law. Even also, if you're not good in languages, don't feel for film and theater studies. So this kind of stuff, you need to know where is your strength. Is it languages or sciences or humanities? But then you find that some students, they just feel, because my dream is to become a lawyer, but English, they are a C student. Then when the placement comes, they'll place you to the next nearest that you can. They'll definitely now not put you in law. Then they'll say maybe you can be a science teacher. You do education sciences. So if this student is very passionate about what they want to do, they can look for guidance. There are parents who are very good. They will reach out and say, Zippy, my daughter has performed like this. They have got a B or a B minus or an A, and they don't want this that they have been called to do. What can I do? And we advise them, because the Center for University Education or UCSPS, they allow students, after the results are out, to even revise what you want to go and study. A lot of people don't even do that. Do you know only around 30% of people go to revise the units they want to study?
Okay.
So by the time you're being called to the university, you're saying, oh, this was just what I was called for, I was just placed. That happened during 15, 20 years ago during our time. But now,
Daktari ameamua kunishikanisha.
right now,
Yes.
people have the opportunity to revise. In fact, there's the first revision and there's always the second revision. Where the first revision, you can revise the course and even the choices of universities that you are called to.
Oh.
Yes. Then there's the second revision where if after that they've placed you again a different place, you can do now the final revision. But most importantly, I always say, if you didn't like where you're placed, do the first revision. But most importantly, to just go to the right university. If you know your marks cannot make you do, let me say, engineering, just fill their Bachelor of Sciences so that you go to Kenyatta University or University of Nairobi. Because once you are there, you can now do what Dr. Zippy did.
Yes,
you
yes,
can
yes.
change within the institution. You get it?
Yes.
Yeah. So always strive to go to the right university where you've been invited or where you are qualified to go.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then you can do the necessary.
Tricky represents someone who is in campus now.
Yeah.
Because I understand for campus there are 2 levels of marriages. You tell us about your time. There is marriage in campus.
Yes.
Wewe ulimarry ukiwa year what?
And
Uliwaioa ukiwa KU?
yeah. Kila mwaka in fact. Kila mwaka.
And you've talked about cohabiting.
Yeah.
Kwanza yenu ilikuwaje? What was the agreement? Hiyo marriage ya kampo, what are
Marriage ya kampo most of the times inakuanga tu ya kuweka pesa za help vizuri. Zizipotelee huku nje, kuziweka vizuri. Cause inaishanga zikiisha.
It's a rehearsal for the real marriage.
Yes. Most of the times pale campus guys are there na wamekuja na ile mohae. Yeah. Huku ndo tuliambiwa tutapata wale madem. So ukikabila ule dem mwenye ulikuwa unaambiwa na mwalimu wako high school ulikuwa unajifeel you are lesser man. You have to look for somebody.
Yes.
Unakaa na yeye. Then of course most of the times campus guys tuna maringi semester ikianza wakati. Unajua semester ya comrade inakuanga kama formation ya Chelsea. Inakuanga 2 3 1 4. Let me explain this. 2 the first 2 weeks bado uko na ile marupurupu ya nyumbani. Uko sawa. 3 weeks zinafuata help inaingia. Sasa hapo ndio peak.
Sasa umeingia.
Mapenzi iko huko. Unapatana na comrades wana kiss kila mahali. It's life. Umeelewa? Everywhere they are in love. Then after 3 weeks, those are 5 weeks now of the semester. Pesa inakatika. There is 1 week of confusion na kukosana. 1 week ya confusion kukosana, you don't know what you are going to do, ndo exams na approach, hauna pesa. Then the last 4 weeks is ni hell. No one wants to be called baby na unipay do. No one wants your love na you mpatie chochote. Kama ni dem wanaanza kucheza nje ya campus sasa.
Like seriously.
That is the reality.
Na ni cycle.
Yes,
next semester pia unarudi tena.
La sasa huwezi rudi na ule wala same sasa cause. Unajua the last 4 weeks mlishaachana mkasahau kabisa kuhusu.
Yes,
so
yes,
the next semester you start afresh.
Fresh marriage.
Tano mpya.
Ala.
Yeah, that is the cycle.
Now, and how does this affect academics? Ama ni system isha ku accepted?
I think ni system yenye pia. It affects of course because kwa hiyo formation nimeeleza manze unakujanga kuanza kufikiria mambo ya masomo vizuri.
Yes.
3rd week, 4th week.
Ile time umesota.
Ile
time sasa ukameumana.
Maybe no wonder wametoa help. Like on average
wasijaribu.
How wametoa nasikia hivyo. On average basi mtu anaweza oa mara ngapi like conservative figures?
Conservative
in 3 years.
In 3 years
for a course.
For a course. Kama wewe ni mzembe wa kuoa kabisa nafai kuwe mara per semester, no every semester chukua bibi tu. How many semesters are there in 3 years? There are 6.
But first year you are shy. Ama first years they are not shy.
First years? Shy.
No,
you know what first years do? First years are shy, but madam second years na third years wanajua wako na help, so they are not shy. They calm down. Baby, calm down. They calm down to the first years.
Did this happen during your time in campus, not as a lecturer?
As a student?
Yes. How many times did you get married in campus?
Not many times. I was actually a very good girl.
A very good girl, Meskiani, not many times.
Not many times.
That is the best girl. Not many times.
A good girl, not many times.
Yeah, because I think in campus I only remember 2 boyfriends.
You are only married twice.
Kind of, maybe, if we call it so, yeah.
And in that context,
Yeah.
you also have a lot to say about cohabiting.
Yeah.
How does it affect our social engagements?
A lot, because I think people generally in Nairobi, people have a fear of commitment. In Nairobi.
Yes.
Because in my homemade, I think people can marry even in 1 month. We meet, we love each other 1 month, I go see your people, you see my people, and people are fine.
Yes.
Yeah, but in Nairobi, people can live for many years. I mean, I did for 5 years. So it's the time goes so fast, people are working, and you keep hoping that maybe you keep hoping, not thinking or planning.
Both of you coincidentally have one woman show, one man show on the same day.
On the same day.
On the same day, the 31st of March.
What time is your show?
6 p.m.
Oh, mine is 7 p.m. I think I'll put a cocktail so that people can come just this side one.
He always does 58 minutes, so inamaanisha if he starts
so
on
he
time,
starts,
he'll make it to your show.
And then so they'll come to my show.
He'll just cross the road, ako Nairobi Cinema, uko National Theatre.
But then they'll make it.
Tunaweza anza kwa Tricky, tumalizie
kwa Zippy. Yes.
So Tricky tukubaliane, yako inaisha
tukubaliane.
6:55.
6:58.
Okay, 6:58.
6:58.
Haya, sasa sisi tutaanza national anthem 7:05, 7 minutes watu wateremke.
Tutakuja na Bluetooth.
Iko sawa sana, wapi makofi yao? Wazi. Asante sana. That's it for the weekend edition. See you next week. My name is Dr. Kingori.